Let's blast a joint.
We smoke that kush, that kush,
In the since deleted post, she claimed that they'd gotten into a fight on the night of the incident and Powell, whom she reported as drunk, had hit her in the face. James admitted to then taking a knife and stabbing him, but added that she didn't think it would hurt him, concluding her post by asking God for forgiveness and attaching RIP to Powell's name. The victim's family defended him, maintaining that he wasn't an abuser and that his killing had been premeditated, not a result of self-defense. James was arrested and charged with murder. Number 3. Jeffrey Antonio Langford. In October of 2019, Utah man Jeffrey Antonio Langford shot his mother to death and then live-streamed the bloody aftermath on Facebook. Both 24-year-old Langford and his mother, Gracelia Holker, had been intoxicated on drugs and alcohol, which relatives reported was an ongoing existence for the pair. In one of the 3 videos live-streamed, Langford would be shown crying and holding his mother's bleeding head, which featured a gunshot wound up to the camera. He said that she'd shot herself and implied that he'd end her suffering while the woman could still be heard breathing. When the authorities arrived at the residence, they took Langford into custody and found that 45-year-old Holker had suffered 3 gunshot wounds. In his police interviews, Langford, whose father had taken his own life, would eventually admit to shooting his mother twice. However, he claimed that he'd done so to put the woman out of her misery after she'd slit her own throat and shot herself in the head. Langford was charged with murder, but there wasn't enough evidence to concretely determine who'd fired the first shot. Nevertheless, the prevailing argument was that as his mother lay dying, Langford's first impulse was to shoot her and then broadcast it on Facebook instead of calling 911. He eventually pleaded guilty to manslaughter and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Today's topic was requested by I Ate Your Cookies Too, Kevin King, Alessandra Testa, and Robbie Fayad. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 2. Colleen Cudney. In 2012, Colleen Cudney of Westland, Michigan, was convicted of a DUI and consequently given probation on the condition that she remained completely alcohol-free. The day after St. Patrick's 2014, only a few weeks before the end of her probation.
Let's blast a joint.
we smoke that kush, that kush, we smoke that kush.